87. Angel number 87 is world success needs to be balanced with spiritual development. No, I don't watch football no more, but when I did, I was a Packer fan, and this is Brooks 87. So you can tell how old I am, right? Pretty old. You don't have to confirm that, thank you. If only you knew how old I was. Oh, ancient, ancient. Okay, so the song Lady, I got lots of downloads for you, so just don't mind me doing lots of chatting here. Okay, so first of all, 87, 23 came down on top of it in Astro and said 100%. So that's going to mean something for a lot of you. Okay, so this message is very spot on. 23 is the date today, too. 23 on top of 87 is 100%. Okay, now when you look up the word, not the word, when you look up 87 angel number, what I got from it is there needs to be a balance between world success and spiritual development. Then the cards came out exactly that on the shorts, Little River Band Lady. And I'm going to go into the cards because they're spot on. The first card was money, the last card was money, and we're going to get into this in a minute. But in Astro, they wanted me to play Little River Band Lady. We also have two more ladies coming in, which are Styx Lady and Kenny Rogers Lady, and I will be putting those shorts on later. Okay, so we've got the three ladies, and what I was talking to them in Astro about was I needed to go deeper last night in Astro, so I went on all these 3 and 4D trips. One was in an old Cadillac that I had, and my significant other was my 5D partner was with me, and the brakes were not working correctly, and he's a mechanic, so he'll take care of it. But I had to throw that in there. Hi, hon. Okay, so I went on all these mini little excursions to figure out why you guys are staying so stuck. Now, yesterday, I'm just drawn to that gray spot above me, like Beam Me Up Scotty in the movie Star Trek, right? Now it's moving because I caught it. There it is. Okay, beam me up, Scotty. Okay, so I want to go deeper into why you guys are being so stuck. We opened up a class last night for you all called Who Am I? And a lot of you joined it, and a lot of you are going to be joining it because if you figure out your past, it proves your future. Past proves your future. Future proves your past. Okay? We are on 12 different dimensions at one time, simultaneously. But you have cell memory inside you also that has all your past memories. And the DNA right now is being activated, so you're starting to get glimpses of this. You're starting to get glimpses of who you were, feelings of who you were. We were dumbed down for so long, and now it's all coming to the surface, okay? So what happens when you look at a lake and stuff comes to the surface? You see all that grime on top of the water. And you might take your net and scoop it all up and put it into the net, and then there's clear water again, right? I'm seeing a swimming pool in someone's backyard, okay? And you take the net, and then you get all the crap and you put it in the net. Well, that's what we're doing. Because if you know what's causing the grime in the swimming pool, you can fix it. For example, you've got all these green leaves in your pool. Well, you take the net, you grab it, you put it over here, right? Just a second. What are you doing? Come on. Come on. Kitty was knocking on the bathroom cupboard. Okay, so you take the net and you grab all the green leaves and you put them in your net. Now, you know that those green leaves are causing a problem in the pool, so you can figure out where they're coming from and you can cut them branches, you can cut that tree, whatever you have to do to live in the solution of having that pool full of those dirty leaves. Well, that's what we're doing with our regressions. When I got my regression, I figured out that I could free people from the mitras. One of my superpowers is being invisible. Those are just two things off the top of my head that came to me about my regression. But anyway, I had a few regressions, and you don't get access to them all because they decided to erase themselves as soon as I was done with them, and that's the way it goes, right? But anything that I did save, I have put on my channel under playlists or video. So back to what I'm getting at. That's why we opened up the class called Who Are You? Because we need you in Astro to dig deeper so that here in your physical avatar, you can start figuring out who you are, why you're here. Everybody asks, what's my purpose here? What's my purpose here? Well, that's what we're getting at. We're getting you guys DNA activated spiritually and physically so that you can figure out why you're here, and we're bringing in the movie to its end. Very important. Now, I went one step further, as I said. I went into Astro and I said, what else besides setting up this class? That took quite a while, right? We set that all up. Okay, now you're going to have different teachers for each one of you. Each one of you has different guides, has different teachers, okay? So that's all in Astro. Now what about here? So I wanted to know, what can I bring them for here? That's when they gave me the 23 onto the 87, which is 100. So this reading is 100%. They wanted me to put the Three Ladies songs on because in those lyrics and in those music vibes, you're going to get more downloads and more answers. This reading is really important because it coincides exactly with what the spiritual angel number for 87 means, which is success in the world versus spiritual development. What I got from these cards is you're putting too much emphasis on pentacles and on the world stuff versus your spiritual development. So you're out of balance. Okay, you're out of balance. Now, we were taught in this life to make money. So a lot of you have a lot of money. A lot of you have no money. It's kind of like gray and white, gray, and black. You either have no money, you either have tons of money, or you're kind of in that where you have enough money, maybe you even have a little savings, but you're not rich and you're not poor. But what I'm getting at is it's all centered around money. That was the Matrix. Now, I'm telling you to get more spiritual. How do you do that? Okay, how do you get more spiritual and less pentacly? Well, one of the ways is to take all these classes in Astro and really start getting more into Astro than you are into physical. However that is to you. I had to retire. I told you I get to retire fully in August, but I had to retire from trying to make money, being a landlord, trying to make money, trying to flip houses, trying to buy houses and rent them out, all that kind of real estate stuff. I had to put that in the back burner, and kind of like when you're at a casino and you go in and you cash in your chips and then don't keep playing. So that's what I had to do. You may do something different, but that's where we need to go. We need to go in when I say to you, it's time to go all in, but it's also time to cash out. Okay? Take your profits, put them in your bank. Whether the redemption appointment comes and we get to cash in on our it's called foreign currency, that's just an added bonus because we can't rely on that. How can we rely on something that another country wipes its ass with, right? We can't really rely on that, but we've told to do it, so we do it, and we can just put that in the back burner. Same with silver, gold, dings, dongs, yings, yangs, all that stuff, right? You can have all that and put it to the side, but a lot of you are doing it 24/7 in your head, talking about crypto and wallets and Bitcoin and yings, yangs, dings, and dongs, okay? That's where you're out of balance. You should be talking a lot more like spiritual than pinnacle, and I don't hear it. So that's where some of you guys are lacking, okay? It's okay to have a savings account. It's okay to have these things, but you're focused on it 24/7. Back to football. When I talked about how football, you know what games are playing, you might even bet on them, you know all the players, I used to be there. Years ago, I was there. I have the t-shirt. Remember, we get t-shirts and statues. I got a t-shirt, I know, but see, that's behind. So you're still addicted to football. You're still addicted to money. These are all these earthly idols, they call them, that are blocking you from your spiritual development. So hopefully you're going to hear this and stop talking about football and money and working out at the gym. And how many of you are buying Christmas presents? You're still celebrating pagan holidays? What is wrong with you guys, okay? You see how you're just getting still stuck in the matrix, and I'm showing you how to get unstuck. That's all I'm doing. I'm not trying to tell you what to do. I'm just showing you. You keep saying, what is my purpose? I feel so stuck. Well, this is it right in your face. Here's your mirror. Does that mean you can't bake Jesus a cake and celebrate his birthday? No, you can do that. I don't even bake the cake anymore. I just say happy birthday, Jesus, okay? So you can keep everything that you believe, but get rid of all the paganness of it, all of the talk about it, all of the buy about it, okay? So I hope that made sense because that's what's keeping you stuck. So how many of you are watching football, drinking, gambling, going to casinos, buying presents for Christmas? Did I already mention that? Talking about crypto wallets, talking about zing zangs and Zimbabwe's. If you fit into anything that I said, you're off balance. I can be all of them things, but in balance. And that's where I am. I'm all of them things. I'm rich, poor, in the middle. I can gamble here and there. I can go buy a lottery ticket once in a while. I can watch a football game once in a while. I can even wear the t-shirt once in a while, right? I can buy somebody a present. I can say Merry Christmas to somebody. I can even have my Christmas lights up 24/7, 365 days a year, okay? But I'm not out of balance. You guys are out of balance. So I'm just trying to show you where you're out of balance so you can move forward. Now, with all that talking, let's finally get into the cards. We've got money first, and the last card out was money on addictions. Money is right there, the bottom card. Okay, so money is the first card, money is the last card. Okay. If you want your true love and your new beginning. Now that's going into the song. I didn't get into the songs yet. the three ladies, we've got You Want Your True Love, like these songs are talking about. You want your new beginning, then you got to do what the first lady, Miss Mystic, just told you to do. Now, you're having problems also with your family members. And the family members, just a minute, the kitty wants to go in here. They like to play in the cupboards. There you go. The family members involved here are keeping you down because they're into tradition, they're into money. Oh, you can't leave that because they're the ones that got you started in whatever you're making so many pinnacles on, right? They watch football. You can see how this karmic family members is so in your face. So I'm not saying this is going to be easy, but it's saying to get more connected, meditate, spend time in nature, because the answer is going to come on these. The answers will come, but you're going to have to be willing to do it. Remember, a lot of us are alone. A lot of us gave up our jobs, our families, to become balanced. So it's not like it's easy, okay? Then they have the water signs, which is emotions. So watch your emotions. Look for signs, synchronicities, triple numbers, nature, and you have lots of everything I said in the first 14 minutes. Then you're going to get messages through your thoughts. We already talked about astro in the classes. You need to separate, see, the earth sign, the earth and the water, okay? Or combine them together and get them balanced. And then the last card out was the new opportunity to take a risk, okay? So what are we saying there? We're saying that you're going to have to take that risk. And that risk is going to be probably getting rid of this karmic family member stuff. How many of you won't leave your job, won't leave your family, and won't leave these traditions that I'm talking about? Okay, so many of you raised your hands. Okay, all of you are not going to advance to the highest timeline, and you don't mind. Okay, so you probably don't need to be listening to me. Okay, go to a different channel where they talk about your karmic people that are around you and your rainbows and unicorns and oh, how all of these people are coming back to you with white horses. Okay, just go back to that station, because for us, we want to advance. We want to know how to take this risk. We want to know how to take this new opportunity. So how do you get your true love and your new beginning? I just got done telling you about Who Are You Yesterday. Make sure you watch all of yesterday's stuff. I think there were 3 shorts and a live. Today there's going to be 3 shorts and a live because I'm going to do 2 more lady videos later. So we've got the 3 ladies talking to you, Miss Mystic talking to you. We've got all these cards. If you want to move forward in astro and in physical, then you have to wear this stuff like a loose garment. Not watching football 24/7. There's the gray thing again, showing me, beam me up, Scotty. Okay, I love Star Trek. So again, now do I do Star Trek 24/7? No, I watch it here and there. The president yesterday, they were talking about the Navy or the big ships, the battleships, right? And they were saying that there was a lot of, I think it's the Defiant and something else were related to Star Trek. So, we can wear everything like a loose garment. I can listen to that on TV and say, yeah, go Star Trek. Yeah, let's play Battleship. But I'm not all politics. I'm not all Battleship. I'm not all Star Trek. Everything has to be balanced. So for those of you that need to cash in, time is now. Yesterday we had Who Are You? Today we have World versus Spiritual. It's time to cash in. Okay? It's time to cash in. And one more thing about that song. That song I used to listen to when I was, oh, I want to say 12, 13 years old. And there's the kitty. And 12, 13 years old, and I was going through a black night of the soul because my mom was getting beat up by my dad a lot, and we owned a bar, and it was a very dark, dark period in my life. And I can't remember what year it was. I want to say 78, but whatever. That song got me through. I had to get up at 8 in the morning, open up the bar, and start the bar because my mom would be too beat up to open the bar, and my dad would be wherever, I don't know. And I would stand in the kitchen. It was kind of dark like this, and we had a jukebox, and I would play that song blaring over and over and over again because it was my ancient twin talking to me through that song. And then when the other two ladies came out, it was the same thing, difference, but it was my ancient twin talking to me, and he always called me lady, my lady. So I had to throw that little personal out there to you about them songs. And I'm getting all teary-eyed because I can feel them. I can feel them. So I hope you enjoy the songs as much as I do. And thank you for whoever wrote them and for whoever sang them, because you don't know how songs save you in this 3 and 4D life. Queensryche, Silent Lucidity, that's on my playlist. These songs really get you through the dark periods. And right now should be a happy period, because if you want true love and a new beginning, I told you yesterday you had to get balanced. Well, today I'm showing you how to get balanced. The world has to get dropped down and the spiritual has to come up so that we can have balance between the two. You can still have money, you can still do your occasional this, that, and the other thing, but it's got to be balanced. And I gave you a great example of how I do that with all them different categories. So I'm going to continue on. I love you guys. I am Miss Mystic. Thank you for listening.